Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Welcome to your reading for December 19th to the 25th. Happy holidays to those of you who are celebrating them. For those of you that are struggling to find the magic of the season because there's just, I don't know, so much other energy going on, whatever's going on with you, travel plans may be being disrupted just due to weather or the way people are acting. Well, that's interesting. So this is the second time I've tried to do this reading for you. And in the heart space, you have the exact same card, and in the action to take, you have the exact same card. And some similar cards showed up. I had to do it again because it was really a difficult reading. And I said to Spirit, okay, we've identified this may not be a great week for Aquarius, but how can we make it better? So let's focus on what you can do to feel good this week. And so there's the clouds of confusion as the overall energy. And so, yeah, it gets a little murky, a little mucky around this time of year. Lots of things can trigger us. They sent you the card of positivity. I said to them, how can we make this more positive? So they sent the card of positivity. So there you go. Aquarius, positivity. The card of positivity says, if you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. So, the key, the overall energy last time was you were the key to the situation. I feel like they're saying the same thing again. You're the key. You get to choose what your experience is, because here in the key to the situation, we have the choice, the path. You can choose to go down the path of loneliness and feeling bad. And there's a lot of reasons why that could be triggered up this week. So many reasons, right? Or you can choose to look for the positivity. You can choose to look for the sunny side of things. You can choose. So you have the power, actually, is what Spirit is saying. You have the power of choice. They're saying choose wisely. They're saying to commit to the path. To commit to the path. And so for some of you, it could be that there's difficulty financially, emotionally, or yeah, those are the two I'm getting most. Okay, so either you thought you were going to get a promotion that was going to come through, or you were going to have a job opportunity open up, or you thought you were going to move to a certain place, or there's some tension in relationship situations. Possibly. Okay, so here in the area of what you're thinking about, we have the whips. And so I think some of you are like, I don't want to go home again and be asked, so when are you getting married? So when are you having babies? So when are you going to move back home? So when are you going to do whatever it is that everybody in your family thinks you should do, that you're like, oh, because she's standing there with her ears plugged. She's like, no, I'm not listening to you. And so I feel like you're guarding and protecting your energy against the onslaught of other people's ideas about what should be good for you. And you're being asked instead to choose for yourself what is good for you, and to focus on that. I'd be grateful for the opportunities that come for you, and to focus on where you're going next, and to light your own fire of excitement, and not worry about having to make everybody else happy. You don't have to make them happy. They don't have to like what you're doing, but you do. You do. Okay, so if you're comfortable with what your choices are, if you're comfortable, if you're finding the joy, so what? So what? You know, if you need to create some space for yourself and you're like, you know what? The idea of even going home and listening to them and having to just plug my ears is almost too much. Then how can you limit that, right? So maybe you're like, well, I really can't travel, but how about we all get together and we'll have a Zoom call for a couple of hours or whatever. And so then you can, engage with the family face to face, have some conversation, but there's a time limit and you can cut it off and you can escape, right? Or it kind of reminds me of like when, you call up your friend and you're like, so I have this date and I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. So we're supposed to meet at 6:30. If you could call me at 7 o'clock, and then if it's not going well, I'll have to rush out. And, you make those plans. And so there may be a situation where you're like, I'll go to this family function, but my friend's going to call me at like 8 o'clock and to get me out of there in case I need to leave. If it's not going well, then I'll have a easy, graceful exit. So if you need a plan, and you might need a plan, then go ahead and create one. Just to make things easier for everybody. Because we don't need to be causing and stirring up things. At the same time, we don't have to be putting up with other people's crap. You are being asked to figure out where you want to put your roots down in your life. But your roots down doesn't mean necessarily where you live or where you work. It almost feels like, it feels deeper than that, Aquarius. It feels like the search for your soul purpose, like your life purpose. Like, what is it you want to do? What is really of value to you? And so you may be feeling the need to withdraw a little to sort through this, but just remember that every day there's something to be grateful for. And the more gratitude you build up in your heart, the higher your heart elevation, which then draws, because it is through this area here, there is like the magnet that draws and pulls in opportunities. And so magnetize yourself. Draw and attract to you what it is that you want. Do this by seeing the good stuff and the positive stuff, because then that's what you're going to see coming in. If it's really important. I'm a little concerned because the anchoring in card is the card of the burden. It's like she's waiting. I'm just waiting for the time to pass so I can get the heck out of here. I don't want to be here. I don't think that's the energy to wait to anchor into. I do think, though, okay, so if you're sitting there and you're waiting because that job interview, that opportunity, that thing you're looking forward to doesn't happen until after the holiday season, instead of considering everything a burden, she's sitting there and she's got these beautiful flowers around her. Search for the happiness in the moment. It makes the time go faster, right? Remember when you were a little kid and, this won't be for everybody, but I know when I was little and I couldn't wait for Christmas morning, and my mom would say, well, if you go to bed, it gets here faster. Why? Because we're distracted while we're sleeping and everything else, right? It just goes faster, and then you wake up and it's that. So I always feel like distract yourself doing something you enjoy doing instead of sitting there, at the bus stop waiting for the bus to show up. In the heart space, you're getting ready to take action. You're on your mark, get set, about to go. And so I do think you're preparing for something. I think it's been a bit of a struggle to figure out exactly what you needed to do. And so it's almost as though if you're sitting here, you have the opportunity to be gathering information from spirit, because the action to take is moving forward slowly using your intuition. So I feel like over the next couple of weeks, but this week in particular, because this is a weekly reading, there's an opportunity for you to kind of feel your way forward, to decide what is the next best step to take, because in the area of the obstacle, we've got this fox. That's strategy. The fox always makes me kind of think of Aquarius energy, working smarter, not harder, but he's getting his information this time from spirit. He's listening to the little fairies talking to him. And what is he talking about? How to get his ducks in a row for some kind of a long-term plan. So either you've been waiting a long time for something to come in, or what you're trying to develop here or bring in is going to take a little bit longer to get there. And I do think it's going to take a while, because how do you transform the situation? We have the growth here. So this could represent the family tree. This could represent your good health or long-term, steady, strong growth. The tree has several messages to it. I feel like it's like you transform the situation by committing to the long-term growth, because of the obstacle being this long-term card here, and because of it seems to take a long time for it to come in. More than any other message. For some of you, it might be some of the others, but I think primarily for the majority of the people, this is about you really being willing to say, okay, I am going to sit and wait patiently for this little twig I planted to become this great big massive tree. been sitting there a while with this burden because there's vines growing on it. I mean, it always makes me wonder if you turn around, if the opportunity's not right behind you. Because here she's searching, but she's searching this way. And these guys are moving this way. And the fox is looking this way. But I wonder if you turn around and look in the other direction and face forward. That's where you figure it out. And so maybe it's not necessarily the way things have always been done, the tree, but what can you do now to promote new growth, new opportunities? And maybe, just maybe, somebody actually has a good idea and it'd be worth listening to. Doesn't mean you have to take it. We don't have to take other people's ideas, right? But when we open ourselves up to the opportunity to listen to see what they have to say, you feel here with the garden, this is about the community, but it's in the area of what's draining your energy, and you're standing stock still, not moving. It's a man, and he's not moving, and here, this man's getting ready to move. So it's almost like, and it's an elevated statue. It's almost like you wanted everybody to look up to you, like you had all the answers and you knew what was going on. And nobody has that. Nobody gets to know everything, and nobody gets to know exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. I mean, we're supposed to be open to the surprises. There's some kind of a commitment coming in for you in the area of resources, financial resources, possibly emotional resources. There's an opportunity to really commit to something, to a dream, to a goal, towards something that will make you feel abundant in the future. We have the ring. The ring is about contracts. So to be signing a contract. Mercury stations retrograde on the 29th. Doesn't turn direct until the 18th. Does that mean you shouldn't sign contracts? No. It means you need to really check the details, though. Heads up on that. Mars in retrograde in a fellow air sign over there in Gemini, maybe slowing down the progress of things. And if you're in Aquarius rising, that's your 5th house of fun and romance anyway. And so maybe you feel like, well, I'm standing here, I'm waiting for the opportunity, and it's a slow go. This ship here is not moving quickly. I just want to say slow and steady makes, wins the race here. But it's about moving toward, she's facing the light. It's about moving into the joy and the happiness to figure out where it is that you want to go, right? With the positivity card there, it's about looking for the joy, looking for the happiness, and using that like as a major compass. Well, this is so interesting. Taurus had the same card there, and I believe they got this card. If it wasn't that, it was Scorpio, but it was another fixed sign. And it says change in direction with ease. This is a time of change. Shape shift. Oh my gosh, I couldn't say it then either. Shape shifting on your soul's evolution. It is time to reconsider what you are waiting for. You may be in for a surprise. See how they're all looking this way? But she's turning this way, and she's looking in this direction instead. It may be time. Maybe you're like, I think I'm going down this path. No, wait, maybe I should go down this path. It feels like you're given the opportunity here to shift directions about something that you felt pretty sure about, but your intuition has been trying to talk to you about something else. And so moving forward, following your intuition. Now, this is a card of business, so it could definitely be a business thing. A contract that you're signing, an opportunity to bring in money, or job stability, or even more importantly, when you can do a job you love that also increases your finances, right? Like that's a great way to go. So that moon in Scorpio is asking you to be open to shifting and changing. It's funny because it's in a fixed sign, but no, it says you can change direction with ease right now. And part of that is because we're wrapping up a season, a cycle, right? And when that moon moves into Sagittarius on Wednesday and Thursday, that's also when we get the sun shifting over into Capricorn, which means that we have the solstice. In the northern hemisphere here, it's the winter solstice, and the winter solstice, it has this energy of, disappearing for a few days. The further north you go, the sun actually like disappears from the horizon for 3 days before it comes back up again. And so it is the end of a cycle and the rebirth of a new one, right? The death and rebirth cycle. So it's okay this week to pull your energy in, especially because we have, during this time of the real darkness, we have the new moon in Capricorn. And so it gives you an opportunity to really, because it's a Cassimi new moon, it's a super new moon, has this whole hour. It happens at 5:17 a.m., but there's this period, a half hour before and a half hour afterwards, and that is Eastern time zone in the U.S. I have a time zone calculator below if you want to know the time for you. But it has this energy of really being able to wish upon a star and to really plant the seed of intention for what you want to create. But before that happens, during this time where you're choosing to count your blessings so that it's fertile soil that you're planting the seeds and you have treasure your loved ones, it's important for you to love others deeply. And in case you didn't know, if you don't love yourself deeply, you can't love others deeply. And I don't mean narcissistically. I mean, you understand that you are of value and you are of worth. You understand what your value is and how important you are, then you can look at other people and see how important and much value they have in general and in your life in particular. It allows you to open up, to really open up to love, to really open up to a partnership. And so if you really want to commit to the process of being in relationships with people, whether they're in business or your friends groups, or your significant other, or your mother and father, your children, your siblings, whatever. If you want to open up to that kind of a really deep, loving, nurturing bond, it starts with recognizing that you really care about them and recognizing that you're worth being in a relationship. And being grateful for the gifts of yourself, the gifts they bring, and the gifts that you exchange. And I'm not talking about under the Christmas tree. I'm talking about who listens, who has your back, who shows up, who supports you, who's interested in what you're doing, who actually has a conversation and doesn't just plug their ears, I can't hear you. That is not to say that you have to take their advice. Never saying that. But I do think that it's nice to show the respect and the consideration, to let them talk, to just hear them out. It doesn't really hurt anything to hear someone out. So you have the card of envy, ordinarily, and the other card is happiness, okay? So, of course, being envious blocks the opportunity for happiness. One is a low vibrational energy, and the other one's a lot higher. But when I'm reading what it says, I think, this is really Aquarius energy. It says here, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. My favorite thing about Aquarians are how unique you are, not only to other signs, but within your sign. And everybody has challenges. Everybody does. And just because some people seem like they're sailing through life and everything's great and easy for them, I think that when you're Aquarian, other people looked at you and they were like, especially when you're a kid, right? You were so unique and individual. They're like, what is that? Because everybody wants to be the same. Very homogenous, right? Well, no, really, that's not. We're moving into the Aquarian age. That being all like everybody else is not how you're successful anymore. Being an individual is. Nobody gets more individual than Aquarius. So this positivity where you're grateful for things. I think instead of thinking about where it is that you're not that you're lacking, that you're different, whatever that you think is wrong. Instead, start looking at how you're different and how that makes you better equipped, more capable, ability to shine your light out there. Happiness says, I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. Choose happiness. Choose the happiness. If you're going to do something and it doesn't make you happy, well, then, think about that again. Give it a double thought. When you're involved in a committed situation, of course, you have to be on page with your partner, right? But if that's not the situation, choose on the regular, on the daily, the things that bring you joy and happiness. It is definitely the way forward. All right, so on Sunday, I'm going to be pulling cards for that solstice energy. So right now, I'm going to pull you a card for this new moon, this Cassini new moon. So Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern Time Zone in the U.S. I premiere a video with a live chat. And I love this card so much. I've never seen it. It's the spirit of magic. Look how beautiful that is. It's number one. It's kind of like the magician, right? You have everything you need. You have all the tools you need. I believe in fairies. I believe in tales. I believe in magic. I just have to open my little magical music box and the spirit of magic floats all around me. I pay no attention to those who try to convince me that magic is childish and that believing is a waste of time. I have been raised in the spirit of magic, and I know that it is the source of everything on the sweet planet, and I will never stop seeing magic everywhere, nor will I stop believing in it. Positivity. Do you believe in fairies? Do you believe in tales? Do you believe in magic? You do? Bravo. You don't? Well, you should. Anyway, you have to open yourself to the spirit, to the great spirit of magic. That means being able to see everything as a true miracle and believing that it is powerful magic that surrounds you, helping you to manifest in your highest dreams. Look, he is surrounded by magic. That fox is such Aquarius energy. It's thinking smarter. It's working things out. It's the cleverness that you are. Connect to the spirit of magic, and magic will abound in your life. The path to happiness is choosing to believe in yourself and believing in the magic of who you are and believing that nobody has anything over on you. They don't. And their dreams and their goals and their wishes, they're theirs and they're entitled to them. But you are totally entitled to yours. And more than that, you are totally capable of accomplishing them. So, get on your mark. Get set. It's about time to go. All right? You guys have a great week. I hope to see you over on Facebook, and I'd love to see you in the chats. It's every Sunday night. I'm actually going to do one on Christmas Day, too, in case you are curious. I feel like everybody gets a little familyed out. So that'll be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, U.S. Have a great week. Believe in the magic. Believe in yourself. Ooh, believe in the magic of you.